Briefing on our pandemic response efforts. Providing interpretation for us today is Sharon Sinkler. We're really grateful for all you've done, Sharon, throughout the pandemic, so thank you for being with us today. And thank you for joining us to learn about the latest local developments. Our community continues to excel. Nearly 75% of Lancaster County residents aged 45 and older are now fully vaccinated. And if you've attended Jazz in June, or gone to a movie theater, or eaten in your favorite restaurant, you know how glorious it feels to reemerge from the pandemic experiences of the past year. Most importantly, those who are fully vaccinated can now share a hug, a smile, or a conversation, and we are witnessing many happy reunions. For people who are vaccinated, the public health risks of the pandemic are minimal and mostly a thing of the past. And evidence continues to mount that vaccines work extremely well. They are preventing severe illness and virtually eliminating COVID deaths. For those who are not vaccinated, however, the pandemic risks remain, particularly as new variants emerge. Scientists report that some variants appear to be more contagious and lead to more severe disease. As of Monday, we have 167 cases of 6 different variants in Lancaster County. Well, the good news is that vaccines appear to provide solid protection against variants as well. If you still have not received the safe and highly effective vaccines available, please do so now. We still have plenty of opportunities for folks to get vaccinated, and this is the single most important and effective step that you can take to protect yourself and your loved ones and your neighbors. Thank you so much to all of you who have rolled up your sleeves to help end the pandemic. Because of Lincoln and Lancaster County's successful efforts to prevent the spread of COVID-19, we stand before you today to announce another milestone in our progress as a community. Here to provide today's update and milestone announcement on the next phase of our response is Health Director Pat Lopez.
Thank you, Mayor. It was May 18th, about 1 month ago, when the COVID-19 risk dial moved to green for the first time. We also adjusted the directed health measure and removed the mask requirement. Since then, our data has kept moving in the right direction, which brings us here today. Achieving green on the risk dial was a major milestone for our entire community. Because of our continued progress locally, we have reached another milestone during this pandemic. We are pleased to announce that we will allow our current directed health measure to expire at 11:59 p.m. this Friday, June 18th. Here's a summary of the key changes. There will be no conditions related to gatherings regardless of size or location. No event plans will be required for events with more than 500 people. Special event permits will still be reviewed for communicable disease potential, and appropriate instructions will be provided. K through 12 extracurricular activities will no longer be required to submit an activity plan. Pedal pubs and party buses will no longer be required to maintain a list of passengers for 21 days after passage. Restaurants, bars, childcare facilities, barber shops, cosmetology establishments, estheticians, body art, and massage facilities will no longer be subject to any directed health measures. However, they're still encouraged to follow the guidance as it relates to preventing the spread of COVID-19. And that guidance will be on our website. People who have either contracted COVID-19 or have been exposed to COVID-19 are still required to isolate or quarantine as directed by our health department. This is not new, specific to COVID-19. This has always been a public health practice, and we will continue following this standard. Throughout the pandemic, we have taken thoughtful, measured steps based on data to slow the spread of the virus, prevent illness, and save lives. This strategy has been successful and served us well along with the actions we have taken together as a community. Our current local data continues to show improvement and to demonstrate how vaccination has made a major impact. Our positivity rate has decreased to below 3% for the past 3 weeks. The 7-day rolling average of new weekly cases shows a significant drop from 36 cases per day at the beginning of May to just 5 per day now. For this last week ending June 12th, we reported just 33 new cases. Hospitals are seeing smaller numbers of patients needing care for COVID-19. We've seen fewer than 5 confirmed cases needing hospitalizations so far this week. And fortunately, we've experienced fewer COVID-19 deaths, with 2 reported in the month of June. Again, the key reason we continue to see these improvements is due to the progress with vaccinations. This chart shows the direct impact. The percent of residents fully vaccinated is represented by the yellow line, and the new cases per week are represented by the blue line. You can see clearly that as the vaccination rate has increased, the number of new cases has declined. We continue to make progress in vaccinating all those who are eligible from 12 and older. More than 68% of Lancaster County residents have now initiated vaccination. The biggest impact is in the 45 and older age groups. As the mayor said, nearly 75% of those aged 45 and older are now fully vaccinated in our community. This is another tremendous accomplishment. We know that all those in the age groups between 12 and 44 have not had as much time or as many opportunities as other age groups to get vaccinated. We currently have about 45% of those age 44 and under who are fully vaccinated. We want those age groups to reach that 75% goal as well. So we continue to urge them to get vaccinated as soon as possible. This snapshot of our current situation shows a positive picture for Lincoln and Lancaster County. We're still winning the race between infections and injections. We know that the more people who are vaccinated, the less opportunity the virus and its variants have to spread in our community. Some of the small clusters of COVID-19 we've seen recently have been among people who aren't vaccinated. It's also important to remember that some segments of our population aren't yet eligible for vaccine, like children under 12, and some people may not be able to get vaccinated due to health conditions, which means that they're more susceptible to the virus. We can help protect them by getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Vaccination has played such a critical role in getting us to this point and back to the cherished moments in human interaction we've all missed. If getting COVID-19 vaccine has been on your to-do list, make time for it now. If you have school-age children 12 and older or college students, get them vaccinated before school starts. Vaccinations are convenient and close to home. We are holding several clinics a week, both in neighborhoods and at the health department. Walk-ins are welcome at many of them, but you can also schedule an appointment. It's easy to check availability and sign up at covid19.lincoln.ne.gov or by calling us at 402-441-8006. And we intend to continue to expand vaccination opportunities. You can also find a local pharmacy offering vaccinations at vaccines.gov. If you have questions about the vaccine, talk to your doctor or pharmacist. Remember, the vaccine not only protects you, it also protects your family, friends, and loved ones. And with that, we'll be happy to take any questions. I do know, we're looking at the hospitalizations and the cases that we have. And one of the things that we have seen is that those who are more seriously ill are those that have not been vaccinated. And we also look at when we have deaths related to COVID-19 recently, we have checked and those individuals have not been vaccinated. For what reason, we don't know. We're investigating that. But we're continuing to work through that. We do know that some individuals who maybe were fully vaccinated and were exposed and became ill with COVID were very mildly ill. and none of them have required hospitalization.
You're rolling back some of the rules on some of the businesses, when it comes to like massage parlors and, like nail salons. What made you guys confident in that fact that, you can take back some of those rules now?
Well, we feel confident because we see where our case numbers are, and we know that indicates community spread. And most of our cases now are in related individuals. It's not widely spread in the community. And we've seen as more people are vaccinated in an age group, the cases among that age group decrease dramatically. So, we want to encourage all those businesses to protect themselves and those around. And certainly if they have not been vaccinated, we would strongly encourage them to wear a mask.
And some people might say the pandemic is over. What would you say to them? Are there still some rules in play, or is it really over?
No, the pandemic is not over. We are still actively working to get vaccinations out. We have not reached our community goal of 75. We're still having cases reported every day. We're still having people hospitalized. So we're still in the midst of the pandemic. We've just been able to make tremendous improvement.
I have one more question for Beth.
Sure.
So I think you said earlier it's 68% of, is that people 18 and older, 12 and older, that have at least one shot?
Like almost 64%, and it was 68% over 45. It was even more over 45. But 64%, 16 and older, are now fully vaccinated.
So, and I think the president's goal was 70%
Yeah.
by July 4th. Do you feel like you guys are going to get there?
Well, we're at 68%. I just looked at my note here that have received at least one dose,
So
and that's where we have,
68% of
where we are right now. So I think Lincoln always does well, and I think that we're going to meet that goal.
We'll send the slides to you.
Well, thank you, Director Lopez. Your leadership has brought us to a place where life feels like life again. I want to say thank you to you and your team, everyone at the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department, and all of our partners. We are so grateful for your grit, and Director Lopez, your legacy is going to be one of lives saved and a community brought together during the most trying of times. It's been an honor to serve alongside you during this moment. Again, I encourage everyone who has yet to get vaccinated to take that next step to help stave off future outbreaks of variants, and by joining the more than 170,000 of your friends and neighbors here in Lincoln and Lancaster County who have rolled up their sleeves to help save lives and livelihoods. And with that, thank you again for tuning in.